Hello and welcome to Two Bound Books. My name is Amber.
And my name is Shaylee. We are so glad you are here. We are a clean podcast dedicated to spreading the word of good books written by up-and-coming authors.
We are doing a highlight book today, but before we do that, we are going to talk about a few different topics in the media among bookish things.
I'm so excited for this one because it's some of our favorite things because, I mean, we love all things books, and Amber and I...
Julie Andrews singing, "These are a few of my favorite things."
There you go. Oh, gosh. I'm so sad she doesn't sing anymore.
I know.
But we have, like I said, some fun topics. I'm really excited.
Yes, including our first topic of bookmarks, which might not sound as exciting, but I want to know what our audience also thinks in regards to bookmarks and what they use and utilize as well. So I brought a few demonstrations. So if you're watching on YouTube, hello, you will get to see physically what we're looking at. So the first one that I brought is just a scrap of paper, because who doesn't grab a scrap of paper every now and again?
Oh my gosh, that was my entire high school career. I just had loose paper in my book as my bookmark.
Oh, I know. Because, God forbid, you fold a page.
Yeah, we don't do that.
No, we don't. The blasphemy. How dare you?
We're taking it back to pet peeves.
Next is an actual bookmark.
I use those.
I do too. This one's kind of like a Starry Night theme. Starry Night's my favorite painting by Vincent van Gogh.
So you know what I love about just the normal like cardstock classic bookmark?
What's that?
Your book lays flat.
Yes.
I don't like when my book is not closing completely. And so that's what I love about the classic bookmark or the scrap of paper.
Oh, absolutely. One of my least favorites is the ones with the plastic sleeve.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't use those.
Yeah. And it came with a little like tassel on the top of it. And you can see I ripped the tassel off. This one is my Doctor Who Explosion of the TARDIS one. So that shows a little bit of my geekier side. Shout out to all my Doctor Who fans.
I've heard so many people talk about that show and I've never watched it.
Oh my gosh. If we could get David Tennant on here, I would just, I would cry. Or Matt Smith.
We're talking about bookmarks.
Oh yeah. Okay. Bookmarks. This is just, your classic bookmark. It doesn't necessarily have to stay in the plastic sleeve, but you can definitely take it out. But I did because I liked my Doctor Who thing, but now I just keep it like as a memento on my wall.
Oh, okay.
And so I pulled that one down. My next one is also just a handy little scrap of paper that I found. This one's currently what's in my book.
Oh my gosh, it's your iPad pencil.
Oh, it 100% is.
Instructions.
It is. Because that's what was next to my bed when I started reading my book.
That's super funny. I should have brought a couple of mine. I forgot to, but I'll explain them.
Okay, my next one is, it's on a little chain, and it has, and I just hit the mic with it. It has a little saying on the flatter part of it, and then it has a little heart with a flower at the bottom. And it loops around and it forms a bracelet. So if you're reading and you are like out and about, you can put this on your wrist and it kind of locks itself in place.
You took me to get one of these from Barnes & Noble.
I did.
And you know what? I used them for about a week. I don't like them.
It's not my favorite, but I definitely did utilize them. They just kind of live on my nightstand now. And if I'm going to be reading in public, I definitely do like wear one of these, especially if I'm at the beginning of a book, because then I can double it as jewelry. And then if I'm reading, then I can just slip it off.
That makes sense.
It super easy. My next one is super comical because it doesn't necessarily look like a bookmark. And when you saw it, you were like, nope, I couldn't do it. It
would drive me insane.
It drives Shaylee insane. But this one it clips onto your book and it's made of silicone. And so there's a clip portion of it and then there's like a floppy portion of it. And it clips on to either.
It looks like a hair clip.
It really does. And I've been wearing them as hair clips every now and again just to get because my hair falls forward so much.
Have somewhere to put it while you're reading.
Exactly. Well, no, because what it does is you clip it onto the book while you're reading it. And then as you are on like that page, you'll just flip it over. Oops, sorry, people. You'll flip it over as you're reading the pages. And so then it marks your spot automatically.
Okay. Yeah, that's
So-
cool. One of my other favorite bookmarks, my friend Hannah, I don't know if she made it or bought it for me, but it's a corner piece and it's like cardboard, and then it's on the front it's green, and then it has like a cream S on it, which is super cute, but it slides onto the corner of one of your pages. And for me, again, I'm such a flat page book person, but when I the time that I like to use the like corner page bookmark that looks like a triangle is when I'm like sitting at home reading a book and quickly want to get up for a few minutes and stick it on and then come back. And so it's like a great at-home bookmark. But when I'm carrying my book around, I always go for the classic.
Oh, yeah. Well, and then have you seen all of the bookish utensils out there now? Like, if you don't like to hold your pages open, they have like a little triangle piece that you can stick in between the pages of your book so that it like holds it open for you, so you can hold it open one-handed.
Oh, that's weird.
Isn't it?
Oh, wait, the wood piece with the hole?
Yeah.
As you're reading, I have one of those.
Oh my goodness. Do you use it?
No, because it's way too big for my thumb because I have tiny hands.
Little fingers.
Yeah. I mean, they're not little. They're little chunky. But the hole is like for a man hand.
Yeah.
And so
that's
I'm like, this
problematic.
isn't helpful. But I tried it. I didn't love it. I'm just such a old school reader.
Well, like I got a book reading light and I don't like using it. I love paperback books. Do not get me wrong.
Paperback's my favorite.
Paperback is my favorite. And I'm terrified to use my reading light because I don't want to damage my back covers of my books. And so I'll slide it in between the pages so that I can use it that way.
That's funny.
But yeah, I mean, it's amazing how many utensils they have just to be able to try and read a book. But my goodness, it drives me absolutely bonkers sometimes how like up with the trends people try to be, and like
yeah. And I mean, I'm all for trying new things, but it's funny, I go back to the classic every single time, either scrap paper that I have laying around or like a normal classic cardstock bookmark. And I've so many times gone to Amazon and searched bookmarks because I'm like, I just want something new and fresh. I'm like, nope,
I
don't want any of them.
I did get some metal ones that I'm absolutely in love with. And I didn't actually end up bringing them in. I looked at them today and I was like, no, I have enough. And now I'm kicking myself. But they're Van Gogh paintings.
Oh, you'll have to show me.
Oh, I totally will. And we can even link them in the show notes too. I'm absolutely in love with them because it comes with a piece of paper as well.
Okay.
And I might use the piece of paper more than I do the actual bookmark. But I really love them. They are beautiful.
That's funny. Yeah, we will link some of our favorite bookmarks in the show notes for you guys so that you can check them out and see if you love them or hate them, and then let us know.
You can find your own scrap of paper though. We won't link that.
So Amber, I want to do something today that's kind of fun. We prepped for it. Amber and I each wrote some note cards that have would you rather Bookish Edition questions on it. And neither of us have seen the other person's would you rathers. So we're going to take turns asking, and we will probably post some of this on social media, and we would love to hear your guys' answers to the would you rathers as well, because we're like, oh, this sounds fun to just kind of play a game for once.
Absolutely. Especially because when we started the podcast, we were like, a book every 2 weeks, we can totally do that. And then we realized like we have life and things take precedence. Like I have a family. Hi family. I love you.
So yeah, we're still going to do a highlight book on every single episode, but we also wanted to throw in some episodes that were just kind of fun topics that are surrounding the book world that aren't necessarily about any particular book. So I'm going to start.
Go for it.
Okay, my first question for you. Would you rather have a massive personal library but never be able to buy new books, or have a tiny collection but unlimited access to new releases?
Oh, tiny collection, unlimited access, 100%.
That would be me too, but I had to ask because you're such a book dragon when it comes to
I am.
Buying books.
Oh, I am. I bought 3 books this week. Well, actually, sorry. I had 3 books get delivered to me by Book of the Month, which Book of the Month, if you want to sponsor us, I would love that. I I could get down for
Shameless
that
plug.
one. Shameless plug. If anyone knows the people of Book of the Month, I will gladly be in communication with you. And then, so I had 3 books delivered, and then a new release got released this week, and it's a book series that my grandma and I have been both going through. And so I got that so that she could read it first, because I'm in the middle of
multiple other books
and otherwise occupied.
That's funny. Yeah, I'm the same. I would do the tiny collection and unlimited access because I'm a Kindle Unlimited and Libby lover. So.
Oh yeah. All right, you ready for my first question?
I think so.
Would you rather read a book that magically adapts to your mood as you read, or one that has an interactive storyline?
Oh my gosh. Ooh. I think I want it to adapt to my mood as I'm reading.
You are such a mood reader. It's not even funny. And we've talked about this as well. So one of my dreams, and I haven't shared this with you yet, but one of my dreams is to be able to do an interactive storyline. So it's almost kind of like a choose your own adventure.
Oh yeah. I never liked those books.
Well, so you could read the books like all at the same time kind of, and then choose your adventure based off of that.
Okay, but we've talked about a book series where you can read them like 3 different ways, and you've sent it to me. I'm like, I'm just going to read them in the order they were released.
That's
and you're
also
like,
fair.
That's not how you do it.
That's fair.
So yeah, no, not my thing.
You're wrong.
Okay, next question. Would you rather only be able to reread your favorite book forever, or only be able to read new books but never reread anything?
Oh, you're killing me.
I had to ask this one just because of our past episodes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, say it one more time because I need to hear it.
Okay. Would you rather only be able to reread your favorite book forever?
So I only get one book.
One book forever.
Oh, okay.
Think of like Stranded on a Desert Island.
Yeah.
Or only be able to read new books but never reread anything.
Oh, this is going to kill me, but I'm going with the latter option.
Yeah, that's me. I mean, you know that I'm not a huge rereader. There's a few books that I will.
Yeah.
But I want new books all the time.
I do. Yeah, I would go for the new books all the time. I'd have to.
That means you're never reading Shannon Hale again.
I know. You're so rude. All right. Would you rather read only one genre for a year, or read books from every genre except your favorite?
One genre for a year.
All right.
Easy.
Which genre?
Ooh, romantasy. Then I get both. Ha.
Cheetah.
If I had to choose one or the other, it'd be romance.
Yeah.
But I love fantasy. So, I mean, I'm go romantasy because it is a genre now.
It is a genre. The people have spoken.
Yes, they have. What about you?
I would probably I would read books from every genre except
Your favorite?
my favorite.
Because it's only for 1 year.
Yeah, but also like it gets me reading other books and like other types of books.
Yeah, I'm a creature of habit.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've been getting out of my comfort zone a little more, especially with our ARC reads.
I know. Girl who doesn't like dragons now likes
Dragons.
The Concealed and Dragons.
Yeah. Thank you,
So-
S.K. Horton.
Yes.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Would you rather never be able to use a bookmark again, or always have to dog your pages?
Oh my gosh.
She didn't know this question was coming when we talked about this earlier.
I can't. Like, you're setting panic inside me. Okay, I'm not going to dog ear my pages because that is that's one of the 7 deadly
So
sins.
you're just always going to have to remember your page.
So I will just document it on Goodreads. I will just document what page I'm on Goodreads. Because if I'm going through a book, I mean, the hardest part would be Kindle. If you're reading a book on like Kindle. Because would it save your page? Or is this just physical copies?
We're just talking physical copies here.
Okay, then I'd be totally fine. I can just remember my page.
Write it down, please. You have sticky notes all over your house.
I don't get a bookmark, but I get Post-it notes all over the house.
Okay, your turn.
All right. Would you rather have an endless supply of free physical books or a never-ending digital library?
That one's hard.
I know.
Okay, wait, read it one more time.
Would you rather have an endless supply of free physical books or a never-ending digital library?
So you're getting never-ending books no matter what. You just have to choose if you want them digital or physical.
Uh-huh.
Oh, gosh. That's hard because I'm obsessed with my Kindle.
I know. You just got it too.
Yeah, and I've already I've read 7 books on it in 1 month.
Yeah, and the month just started for us.
Let me see. Because I love physical books too. I think I'm gonna do the can I still get physical books here and there?
I mean, you have 2 options. Would you rather have an endless supply of free physical books? So it'd be like you'd have to pay for them.
I'm going digital because then I can take my book anywhere way easier without damaging it.
That's 100% fair. I would choose the opposite. I am such a physical book person. It's not even funny.
It's really hard because I do love a physical book too. The ones that you're borrowing from me right now, I loved holding those because they weren't too big, but they weren't too small.
I love them.
They're like the just right size. Mm-hmm. I feel like the little 3 bears in Goldilocks. But no, but then you think of like the big books, like the 800 pagers, and I'm like, I want that in digital form, be a little easier to take around with me because I borrowed a book from you that was like 700, 800 pages. And I was like, carrying it so nicely because for a couple reasons. One, I didn't want to crack the spine. Don't crack the spine. And then I was like, don't drop it. Don't scuff it. Nothing. And you just worry about it.
Oh, yeah. 100% you worry about it. But that's part of the like love that goes into the books.
That's so true because it's hard. I have this love-hate relationship with like well-loved books.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm like, I want it to stay perfect forever. But then seeing a well-loved book, I'm like, oh, it's so loved.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
There's something about it. All right.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Would you rather be able to bring one fictional character to life or jump into your favorite book's world for a week?
Do they stay alive forever?
Yep. One character, though. Or your favorite book's world for a week.
I
knew this one would be hard for you because you love world building. But you also fall in love with your characters.
Yeah, but I don't know if I want to hop into my favorite book because the world is stabby. I would probably, if I go with the whole Shannon Hale approach for the Goose Girl, then I could totally get sucked into that world for a week.
Yeah.
That's the only, like all the other worlds are a little bit too.
Is that your choice?
I think so, yeah.
You would jump into a book for a week into the world.
I would go into the world.
I would bring a character to life.
Oh, I 100% knew you would.
But that's because, okay, we've talked about this with like our quill rating system. I'm all about the like emotional and character building depth, and you're all about the world building.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of funny. It 100%. Works out.
I would go and experience it. All right. Shaylee, would you rather have your books always smell of fresh paper and ink or the comforting aroma of an old library?
Ooh. I think the comforting aroma of an old library. I love walking into a library and just, it's so nice. I want my own old library in my house.
I would love that. That being said, I recently saw a post of someone who pulled out their old Twilight book, funnily enough, and they found actual bookworms had eaten it.
That's a thing.
It is a thing, apparently.
Ew.
I know. So then I was like, changed my mind. I would rather not have old bookworms eating my pages.
Yeah, that would make me change my mind too, but I feel like I can't go back on my answer right now.
Don't renege.
Yeah.
Don't go backwards.
Okay, but now you've put that in my head. It'll be different in the future.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right. Would you rather be able to predict every plot twist before it happens or only read books with predictable endings?
The second one. Because I already read books with relatively predictable endings.
But you like the plot twists.
I do like the plot twists. I have already predicted the endings of books, but I don't know how we're going to get there. So for me, it's the journey. Mm-hmm. As long as I know, like, it's going to end relatively okay, then I'm good.
I kind of feel the same way. I think that I'd rather be twisted around a little bit in the middle and be okay knowing what the ending will be.
Oh, absolutely. All right, Shaylee.
Last one.
Would you rather meet your favorite author or be a character in your favorite book?
Character in my favorite book.
And
Hands down.
I would legit be like, so what are we having today for lunch?
Yeah, no, I would absolutely want to be a character in my book because I like to submerge myself.
Okay, so the book that we're going to be doing the highlight for has very similar themes to what I'm about to say. But I got to meet Rick Riordan from Percy Jackson, like who wrote the Percy Jackson series, because he came to my library, my public library, when it was first coming out. Mm-hmm. And when I say like I got to meet him, I didn't know I had met him. I like unintentionally met him because my backpack had just broken that day. Mm-hmm. And so I was carrying all of my books and I like was rushing to try and go and see him talk. And I walked right into him and like just like right out of a movie book, my papers flew everywhere. Like my books flew everywhere.
Well, we have this thing. Okay, you guys. I just told Amber today her nickname is Wrecking Ball because this girl flies into every room like the Tasmanian devil.
I come in with a purpose.
She is a tornado. There was one day recently, just a sidecar moment here. We work in ministry at a church together, and it was Young Adults Night, which is the ministry that I lead. And I was sitting at one of our tables. I got to the church early intentionally to read. And I'm sitting at the table. Amber shows up next, and she comes stomping down the church hallway like pound stomping, comes in, swings her backpack around, almost knocks me out, drops it on her chair, throws her sandwich and drink down, and she's like ripping her coat off. And I look at her and I'm like, I am trying to read and you are so loud right now.
I've also been called Hurricane Amber.
Yeah.
And so shout out to my brother Andrew, who's also like, the big joke is also like, because Hurricane Andrew was a thing at that time as well.
Yeah.
And so, and one of the people from our church was like, we used to call it Hurricane Andrew when that was a thing. And so then I'm like, yeah, actually both of us tend to do that as well.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, Amber, I told her, she came in today and she ran into the door on her way in. And I was like, she came in like a wrecking ball. And then she got the nickname.
Yeah, that's me in a nutshell. Hurricane Amber, Wrecking Ball, whatever it is. Rubble from Paw Patrol.
Okay. I don't have toddlers, so I can't help you there. We have one more question.
All right.
But this one, I want us both to answer, but this is also for you guys. We want to hear your thoughts on this question. Would you rather only be able to read one book a year and remember everything, or read 100 books a year but forget every detail when you finish reading?
Can I mark on the book that it's a phenomenal read?
No, this is just, you close it, you're done. So,
but like, is there any way that I could tag it and be like, I want to reread this one 100%?
You couldn't reread it.
No, but
you're talking like okay, so only be able to read one book a year and remember everything, or read 100 books a year but forget every detail when you finish. No, you can't mark it. It's one or the other. Remember how earlier you only gave me 2 options?
Okay, but if I tell someone, oh my gosh, this book was phenomenal, and then I forget that I've read it, can I, like, if I mention it again, oh yeah, I've been thinking about about reading this book? Could they be like, oh my gosh, you loved that book?
I mean, maybe.
Okay, then I would 100% choose the second choice.
And if they couldn't?
I would just literally, I would tell my husband, this is a list of my favorite books.
But you would forget the second you're done reading.
Yeah, but he wouldn't.
No, that's the thing though, is you wouldn't remember it's one of your favorite books.
I know, but he would. And so then he could tell me 100%.
Why would he remember?
Because he loves me.
Oh my gosh. But he's not reading the book alongside you.
I make him read my books.
Taylor is not part of this.
100% he is now.
No.
100%
No,
he is.
this is just you.
Yeah, I'm making him a part of this.
She's a cheater.
Shout out to Taylor.
She's a
Who's
cheater.
the real MVP here?
Cheater.
100% I am.
I would also choose to read 100 books a year, but forget every detail when I finish reading. Because, again, I love the journey of it. And if I can sit on my couch like I was the other night, kicking my feet, screaming out of excitement, and during the book and find joy in that way, I'm all in. I'll forget it.
What I think is absolutely funny and hilarious is you're like, I do not reread books. But you'd totally be like, I would totally reread books.
I wouldn't know that I'm rereading it, though. So it would be like a
I
whole
know.
new book all over again.
I know. Which brings me to our next category, or which brings us to our next category. So, dream book destination.
Oh my gosh. Okay. For me, just before like we name off this location, because it's very known in the book world.
It's very known in the book world. And I'm the one that actually said this was my favorite location.
And I didn't know it was the location, but I was envisioning it because I knew the look of it. I just didn't know where it was. But wait, don't say it.
Oh, I'm not.
There's also this reel and TikTok that goes around that I love where it's like big windows, dark outside, snowing, and candles everywhere, and like cozy blankets and pillows. And for me, I'm like being up in the mountains when it's snowing, cozy with the wood stove going, having my books, blankets, tea, coffee, whatever we want. Like that is my dream cozy book nook spot. But then I also have like a complete opposite. But you go.
All right. So this location, very well known within the book world. If we say it out loud and you look it up, you'll know.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. And that is Zermatt, Switzerland.
Yep. And it's like a fairy-like alpine village with snowy mountain peaks and cozy book atmosphere.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah.
And maybe a really big library.
Yeah. Okay, so you want to know the other spot that I would love?
Absolutely.
So my two dream locations to visit are both Italy and Greece.
Okay.
And my uncle actually lived in Italy for years when I was a kid with the military. And he was in the Sicily area.
Ooh.
But I would love to go, I think, to Venice because they have the gondolas and the water and the cute towns. And it's just a completely different vibe than the mountains. But I feel like Italy's like where I'd want to go for like summer reading, romance. And then the mountains is where I want to be to read the romantasy in the winter when it's cold and snowy.
That feels very much like almost like Mamma Mia.
Oh, I love Mamma Mia.
Or Tale of the Traveling Pants or Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Yep. You know, it's Santorini. Yeah. You just think Greece. And that was one of my favorite movies. I loved those movies.
Which is funny because I didn't know that it was turned into a movie. I only know it from the books.
And I only knew it from the movies. That's so funny.
Tale of the Magical Pants.
But yeah. So if like you had the one dream, would you choose mountains or would you choose elsewhere? Because I know you love the beach too.
Yeah. So I have two locations. I'm kind of backwards. I like the mountains when it's not all snowy. I like to be in the woods and the wilderness when I don't have to work hard to be in the woods and wilderness.
But you wouldn't. You're just in a cabin reading.
Yeah, but how are you going to stay warm?
The wood stove.
Yeah. Who's going to cut the wood?
It's already done for us. It's in a pile by the stove.
If I could snap my fingers and have all of those chores done, I would 100% choose the mountains. And if I didn't have to like,
This is a dream, Amber.
okay, in a dream, that would be totally fine.
Okay.
In the winter, I love the beach because I love the storms that come.
Yeah, the crashing waves.
That come from a good winter storm. There's just something about the beach during the winter.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. It's pretty fun.
So I have very backwards tastes in the.
I had so much fun last December. My family went out to the beach for Christmas. It was like the week before Christmas, and all of us are spread so wide with our families that we're like, we'll just do like a little family getaway the week before Christmas. And it was clam digging weekend.
Yeah.
And I've never been clam digging before, but I went out with my dad, and my dad and I hadn't really had any like good quality time in a while just because life is crazy. And he's out there in his waders, and all I had on was my rubber boots. And he's like, you watch the water, I'll get the clams. And so as the water's coming, I'm like, water's coming, water's coming. We both take off running in the opposite direction so we're not getting wet. And there was one time he just left his gun in the sand and took off running. I'm like, beach in the winter is fun, but it's cold.
It totally is. No, I'm 100% a little bit backwards on that. I just, yeah. You can tell I don't ski or snow.
I used to ski, and then I had 2 knee surgeries, and that went out the window.
Yeah, I've never been on skis. I've never been on a snowboard.
It's really fun up there.
I mean, Hurricane Amber doesn't really do well in the snow.
Hurricane Amber's clumsy.
Maybe Wrecking Ball would be more astute to how I would exit the mountain.
Rolling down.
Where'd Amber go? Oh, she's the giant snowball. You know the giant snowball in the Scooby-Doo movies? Yeah, that's her.
Oh my gosh. Guess what I just read online the other day?
What?
You may have seen it, but Barnes & Noble is opening.
Was it the 50 stores?
Yeah, but I think that they upped it to 60.
What?
And so they said that they're opening 60 new stores this year. And it's because, so they closed, I don't know if you remember, they closed hundreds of stores
of them
back in like the 2010s time.
Yeah.
And last year they opened up 54 new stores. And this year they're going to top that with 60 new stores.
Wow.
Yeah.
So 110 new stores.
In 2 years, which is...
Wow. So 2024 was last year. 2025 is this year.
Duh.
Well, yeah. But if people are listening at different times of...
Our dates are on our episodes.
Well, still...
Oh my gosh.
Amber with a PSA for you.
Oh my gosh. Amber's the queen of mansplaining.
I have tears for me.
Oh, you guys, I broke Amber with the mansplaining comment because she knows it's true. But with that, what I was getting at with this Barnes & Noble stuff is that physical books are making a comeback, and people are saying that the reason is because of book talk. Mm-hmm. Isn't that crazy? It's like a whole new generation of readers that's bringing back physical books in our physical bookstores. And I'm so excited. I love Barnes & Noble. I will say the big brick and mortars are a lot harder for our newer authors to get into.
Yeah.
But there's just something about, like, you and I love going to Barnes & Noble, even just for, like, a fun girl date.
I love just walking around and looking at books.
Yeah, and, like, reading the backs of them and learning more.
Is it terrible of me to say I go to Barnes & Noble to then pull out my Libby app and put them on hold every single book that I find that I want to read?
For anyone who doesn't know what the Libby app is, it's your local library app. I know it's Timberland Library for sure. I don't know if other libraries are connected to it.
There's thousands of libraries all across the United States.
Perfect. So if you don't have Libby, get it. What you have to do, though, is you have to go to your local library and get a library card first. Why are you still laughing?
Because I was pestering you so hardcore about getting Libby, and you like refused for the first like 5 months of our reading relationship.
I wasn't ready to be reading that intensely yet.
And then
And it was not 5 months because it was like 1 month. It was 1.5 months.
okay, well, time feels a lot different on my side
Oh my
of
gosh.
things.
So yeah, I got a library card and now she turned me onto it and I've turned like 4 more people onto it. And it's been this trickle
It's a
effect.
cult.
Because it's free. You guys, it's free. And there's some books that the library doesn't carry, which whatever, that's expected. But you can get so many books for free if you just have a library card.
And my favorite is you can get audiobooks.
Yeah.
And magazines. And
I will say that, sorry, Amazon. Audible is stupid expensive.
so crazy expensive.
The fact that you get 1 credit a month for $15.
Yeah. And sometimes they'll split up if it's like a dramatized adaptation or something along those lines. They'll split it up so that it comes in like 2 or 3 parts.
Yeah.
So then each one of those is a credit.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
And so I definitely prefer to listen to my audiobooks on Libby, but I do love Kindle Unlimited to get more books in the e-reader form.
Oh, yeah. And I will say I have found some really neat authors on the Libby app that are smaller as well.
That's
so
true.
if you are a smaller author, you can reach out to the public library and get your name out that way as well.
Well, Barnes & Noble is pretty exciting. Look for a new store near you.
If you have one near you, also make sure to let us know where you have a new store coming in near you.
I want to see all the pictures of the new stores and what they're doing differently and stuff.
Yeah.
There's this one in Colorado that I really want to visit. And it's like aisles and aisles and windows and 2 stories and it's beautiful. And my cousins live in Colorado. So I'm like, I see a trip in my future.
There's a 4-story one in New York. I really want to go to that one at the time that they have their like national book conference, because they'll bring all the authors and publishers in and then you pay a fee to get in and then you get to pick out all of the books that you want for free.
I love New York. Let's go.
Oh my gosh. Done.
I love New York to visit. I would never live there.
Same.
Sorry, New Yorkers, but I do love visiting. But with that, what do you say we talk about our book highlight?
Oh my goodness.
I know you're excited.
I'm so excited about this book. Okay, so I was on the ARC team for this book. I read it, could not figure out for the life of me where to leave the review until I looked it up on Google and could only find this book on Amazon. And so, anyways, I couldn't find it on Goodreads. So I've technically read one more book this year than what my Goodreads says.
Well, maybe it'll get on there soon and you can add her.
I like have mentally noted like +1.
Yeah.
Like, just to make note of that. And so this book is by B.C. Taylor and it is The Salem Witch. And it is a subcategory of Hayden Black, The Salem Witch Trials.
Okay.
And so this book follows, or it starts off with 10-year-old Alice Corey. She's a Nephilim daughter of Uriel, the archangel of Earth. The blood of angels runs through her veins, making her the strongest witch in the world. But in 1692, Salem, Massachusetts, being a witch is a death sentence.
Indeed it is.
You got your Salem witch trials. As mortals are burned at the stake in Europe, paranoia heightens in the New World. But in a time when magic is a curse, Alice is chosen by heaven as the next Salem witch, destined to protect the world from evil. If she can survive the deadly Salem witch trials. If she doesn't master all 5 elements, air, fire, water, earth, and spirit, before her 17th birthday, she forfeits her life. To make matters more complicated, Alice falls for John Parker, the only person who knows her secret identity. As Salem falls victim to the witch hunts, Alice discovers Judge Hawthorne is hiding a treacherous secret. When Alice is accused of witchcraft, she must choose between her life and the fate of the world. Will Alice master her magic and save her town? Or will she perish in the Salem witch trials? And let me tell you, this book had me on the edge of my seat. I was reading it on a plane and I couldn't scream or squeal. And it was the hardest, like most tight-lipped I have ever had to read on in public.
I feel that on a deep personal level because I was just kicking and screaming in my house the other night.
Oh my goodness. So this book runs as a prequel novel to Hayden Black and the Salem witch trials. So it's a prequel book. So I haven't read the rest of the books, but I have to tell you, I'm dying to read them.
So they're on the to be read book list.
100% they are. And she is a phenomenal author. And I mean that so heavily. Like, oh my goodness. Like, oh, so good. I'm so excited to read the rest of her books.
You got to send this one to me because I'm totally interested in reading this one.
Oh, absolutely. I'll send it to you. So it's intended for younger readers, like 10 and up-ish. However, I was totally enthralled.
Yeah, I feel like some of the younger ones can still catch you sometimes. It's kind of like when you walk by in the living room and your kids are watching a show, but it sucks you in anyway.
Bluey.
Oh my gosh.
That's my life. I live with Bluey and Paw Patrol, but I'll read through Paw Patrol, but Bluey, man, that captivates me.
So I know we don't normally do this for highlight books, but just thinking generally, not every category, but generally, how many quills would you give this book?
Oh my goodness. I would say upwards of 20.
Okay.
Like, I mean, remember 25 is our max for the quills.
Yeah.
And so I would gift it your quill.
You don't get to. That's my quill.
Okay, but you haven't read it yet, so you don't get a choice. Okay. And so this book just, oh my gosh, I adore this book. It gives off a little bit of Percy Jackson, Avatar: The Last Airbender vibes. Okay. And I loved every aspect of it. The love story that's in it that isn't really like pronounced as a thing. It's just kind of noted in there.
Yeah.
As, oh my gosh, I love it. It's so good.
Well, we will put this book in our show notes for you guys to find on Amazon if you're interested in reading it. Does it come in ebook or just physical copy?
Ebook, paperback, and hardback.
Okay, perfect. So we will link it in the show notes for you guys. And with that, we are nearing the end of our episode here. So we want to give a big thank you to Rob Brower, our sponsor, for the wonderful studio space that he provides us. He owns both Alethea Digital Media and Romar Entertainment. If you're interested in social media or website needs, go ahead and head to aletheadigitalmedia.com and fill out an inquiry form. We also want to thank you guys for joining us, and we would love it if you would drop your comments, interact with us, subscribe. You can find us on all of our social media at Two Bound Books. And if you're an author and would like to have your book featured on our podcast, yeah, you can head to twoboundbooks.com to do that. We have a selection process and not every book is chosen, but we would love to get the opportunity to see if you guys would be a good fit for us or not.
Absolutely. We're just two girls who love to read books. And if you feel like you want to be a part of that, feel free to share it out with us. All right, you guys, you have such a great time. We'll see you later.
Bye, guys.